Anyway, then all the titles were on the line, Brian. This was a big championship night. We had the tag team title on the line with the Outriggers, Magnum Turbo and Floyd R. Turbo.
No, it was
Magnum Force.
It was
Maggie May.
Turbo Floyd. And was it Truth Magnum?
Truth Magnum. Truth Martini has already filed a copyright infringement lawsuit. The Outriggers versus the Hurt Syndicate. And to be honest, on a weeknight, this was like my second or third favorite match just because there was no goddamn thumbtacks or barbed wire. But I mean, in all honesty, what Okada and Brody King was a 12-minute TV match, and what this was an 8-minute TV match. And there's nothing wrong with that, because of everybody all night, the Hurt Syndicate came out looking less silly and less weak and less ineffectual. MJF didn't do too badly. He gave the guy the tombstone on the chair, and the guy got up and kicked his ass for it. But obviously, there was no doubt that the title was in jeopardy here. Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley would be the best tag team right now in the WWE. Because think about who are the... okay, the Motor City Machine Guns are the best working tag team in the WWE, but they have neither one been blessed to be the size of Bobby Lashley or Shelton Benjamin. And think about it. The Lucha faces, the Lucha heels, the purely dreary, the Ciampa and Gargano, stand Lashley and Benjamin next to any of these people, it would be ridiculous. These guys could be, if there was any decent tag team competition, featured in main events because they look legit, they are legit, and they act like stars, and they don't do the stupid things that everybody else on his program does that makes them look weak. I think Shelton Benjamin had to stooge for some of the foolishness of the Outriggers, who apparently their gimmick is that they're a parody of 80s tag teams, right? To the point where they've got a VHS style entrance, but on this show, it just looks like they had video trouble. You can't really tell.
There wasn't a single tag team in the 80s that acted like them or looked like them.
No. And that was the thing, is that Shelton had to stooge for some of it during their comeback, but basically they shined them at the start without the Hurts getting their asses really kicked. So they gave him a little bit because they have to make it some kind of contest. MVP gave him a pep talk and they took over. They were physically dominant. Then the comeback with the stupid faces and the stupid acting. And then the Hurts took back over, and Shelton kneed both of them, and Lashley speared both of them. 1, 2, 3 in 8 minutes. So it was to get the Hurt Syndicate over, but I just don't know why even a match like that has to have silliness involved. But nevertheless, there we are. But who, right now in tag team wrestling, who would be a good, legitimate match, entertaining match, physical match for Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley?
FTR.
I forgot about them.
The problem is it'll be a really good match. You just hope FTR don't get on the mics. And something has to be done different. It's just they've gotten to a bland point where as soon as they come out with that music, it's doesn't have the energy it had a few years ago. So I think it would be a good match or series of matches, but for it to be a feud, you'd have to find a way to really do something there.
Well, and then
they've been
who would be the
baby faces? Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, that's the problem, is that Shelton and Bobby would be the baby faces because people would be cheering for them to beat the shit out of FTR because the way FTR has been handled or handled themselves. You know, it's terrible when you mishandle yourself. Yourself seems to be the person that would most know how to handle you.
I didn't think this match was very good, but if you were going to do it, it should have been a squash or something. The Outrunners have gotten the ironic pops.
Yeah.
And they've been on Collision, I guess, featured more than anywhere else, but they took that. Watching Shelton having to sell for them, it wasn't even about look at Shelton's shape or, who he is and how tough he is. It just didn't look good. It just didn't look right. And at one point, Shelton went for the knee to the guy in the turnbuckle, and the guy moved, and Shelton kneed the turnbuckle, and he did the thigh slap on his knee hitting the turnbuckle. And I was like, what is that?
I missed that one.
Yeah.
I missed that one.
So they got to do something different with the Hurt Business, and this should have been a squash because it wouldn't have hurt the Outrunners. That's the other thing. And it hurts them if you see them in a match and they don't look good and it doesn't look like they're ready for national TV. It doesn't hurt them if the baddest motherfuckers in the company kill them. That won't hurt them the next time they come out on Collision. But one and done, I guess.
Well, thankfully for that.